In this episode of Dumb Things Aaron Does at Lone Star Drift, I try and start a car that hasn't been started in 3 years and get it running. So we're going to see how that works. I hope I just get in the car and start it, and let's try that. I'm going to get in here in a seat, a skinny boy seat. All right, skinny boy seat. And we have to figure out this mess. Let's see here. All right, I have a nitrous controller. I have a key for some reason. I wonder why there's a key in here. There's all these switches. So I have a start. I assume this is a start button. I don't know what this is. Let's see if this does something. No, it's not some type of kill switch. Nothing. Nothing. That button doesn't do anything. Maybe that's nitrous stuff. Meth? If I do this, does my teeth fall out? Click. Nope, teeth are still good. Fans don't do anything. Doesn't do anything. All right. Maybe it's all wired up on key. All right. Maybe the battery is dead. All right. I've been trying to charge the battery and stuff, so I don't think that's going to be it. Is there a kill switch somewhere? I do not see a kill switch. Ugh. All right, let's get back out of this thing. So far, we are not successful. Give me a minute. We have now attached multiple batteries. I have an Optima there. I have a charger. Oh, great. Now the charger's saying something weird. What the hell does SUL mean? I have another battery in here. Nothing is working electrically, I don't think. Let's see here. That still does nothing. 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 I do not see a kill switch anywhere still. I think it's time to admit defeat for a minute and call up the person that owned the car previously, because maybe they'll know. I was hoping it was going to be really easy and I just turn a key or press a button, but it is not. Phone call is done. He has told me that there is on top of the fuel pump setup, this car has a little tiny circuit breaker set up, and he says this switch, if it's out, there's a switch. I can't really see anything. What is going on here? Some type of... I need a light. Luckily, I have these new LED lights are amazing. This is just some cheap Amazon thing I bought, but it charges. It's like a cool flashlight. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. There's a little tiny circuit breaker here that was tripped. All right, we'll go check on that. Look at this, though. I keep finding crazy little things on this car, like little tiny brackets to keep the fuel lines apart, grommets to go through firewalls. Who actually puts a grommet on stuff? That's amazing. We never do, but we should. We all should. Look at this, another grommet. The lines are run nicely. This car's amazing. Look at all this freaking surge tank stuff. I was a little bit concerned trying to start the car with all these fuel pump thingies that there's a problem. Maybe I should pump out the E85 while I'm back here and clean the tank out. I might do that as well. Let's go see if the car has power, though. We seem to have power. All right, we seem to have power. I have hooked up. This is the difficulty. So we have power now. I want to pump out a bunch of E85 out of the gas tank. It says that there is none in there, so we're going to try that real quickly. Let's see. It was a little messy, and I didn't film it very well, but let me see here. All right. I disconnected the fuel lines, and I got fuel out of it, E85. The lines were basically empty, and the fuel after a couple years. 3 years in storage, looks perfect. So he had drained the fluid and he put a little bit in there to start the car and try and do stuff. Turns out there wasn't much in there for some reason, or it's not getting picked up by the tank properly. So I've just put fuel in. I pumped everything out, forgot to film that. Just putting everything back together now, and we're gonna try and start it. Little note, because AN lines are fancy and stuff, you need fancy little tiny wrenches that are also aluminum because everything's soft, so you don't tear them up too much. These are AN wrenches and they have various sizes. Part of the complication of, living the E85 life. And I have all this taken apart. This is a fuel filter up here, and it's just kind of an easy place to get to it. And I also was checking flow on both sides of it. So now we're going to hook it all back up, see if I get fuel pressure, see if I get a bunch of fuel through it, because I think it was just out of gas, and start it. Cool. I thought I was free of this life. I haven't had an E85 car in a while, but I'm currently filling up E85 cans at the E85 station. And in Texas right now, E85 is $1.69 a gallon. So it's pretty cheap and everything. Haven't been doing this in a while, but now I have an E85 car. I have to do it again. So here we go. The reason I typically don't like to run E85 in my stuff anymore is I don't really need the power anymore. I don't care about that. I like simplicity. Try not to overfill this while I talk. And I like for all my vehicles and my generator and everything to be on the same fuel. And that might sound kind of silly to have like everything on the same generator fuel, but as like an event organizer, it's much easier to deal with everything. And I'm not carrying multiple kinds of fuel and like complicating my life. Just looking at what I'm doing. So I kind of like having everything on 93, and it's just simple. And since I haven't been running like high horsepower turbo cars that are high compression, all that stuff, it's easy. But this car is a monster, so it's gonna require good fuel, and that is that. So we're filling it up. Okay, back to the shop. And now I'm using one of my cans that says 93 because I label my fuel cans to try and keep them all, the same octane and everything else and correct. Oh no, I'm spoiling it. Damn. All right. I am putting E85 in here out of a 93 jug. Typically, I try and color coordinate and all this stuff, but like with the different types of fuel I use, but sometimes it just falls apart. So it is what it is. Luckily though, E85 is not a big deal to spill and stuff when you're working on stuff or get on your hands. It's actually pretty darn clean. It's just like rubbing alcohol or something. There is, 15% gas in it, but it doesn't even smell bad. Okay, all that's hooked back up correctly. All of it's tightened. It kind of sucks that I'm here by myself because I can't watch to see if there's any leaks when I start it because I need to be in the car. But I am 100% confident that this is going to work the first time. Okay, let's see if it starts. We seem to have power now. We seem to have fuel. The key points we could still have is some type of dirty fuel filter because the car was sitting for a really long time and had E85 in it, but the fuel seems to be really clean. However, we were also pumping it out at the front of the car, which should have run through a bunch of filters, so it would be clean. If there was any junk in the junk in the trunk, that's actually really funny. If there was any junk in the trunk, it wouldn't have made it all the way up there, so we wouldn't know. So let's see how to start this thing. Ugh. Oh, the car is so dang... Caged cars are hard to get into. Okay, the seat's really nice though. Let's see here. What do I do? If I press this, I'm not gonna have fuel pumps on. So, did that do something? How about, oh man, we have power now. I heard the pumps come on for a second. What's this do? Okay, that just appears to be fans. Meth. Hey! That was pumping something. I'll check on that in a minute. Maybe that's actually just pumping the intercooler sprayer. Okay, so we have power. I have this blinding shift light in my eye though. Make sure it's not in gear. I should have done that earlier. And it's gonna have a bunch of air in the line, so let's see what happens. Man, those Bosch 044s or whatever they call them are loud. Oh, there's fuel getting up there. All right, I'll give this starter a second to cool down. I hate like overusing a starter, but we could have gone and pulled the fuel lines and like just had the pumps come on and pump all the air out, but I'm being lazy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's getting fuel. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, get fuel in there. We have good oil pressure. We have good voltage. I'm a little scared to press the gas because it might kill the motor right now because it's barely running. We have an air fuel gauge running. We have no boost. That sucks. I like boost. All right, let's see if I can press the gas. Oh, it killed it. Okay, let's try again. Oh, I pressed the gas again and killed it. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's let the door open for a second to the shop. Woo! All right, let's open the door to the shop for a second because it is burning fuel inside the shop, which is, oh man, the car's pointed the wrong way. The car exhaust is going into True's workspace. Now I feel like a jerk. Okay, so the exhaust is spilling out this way. It's not hitting the battery charger, which is important. Listen to those pumps. They're loud. Car's idling. There's probably still a lot of air and just like stuff going on real quick, but we have fuel. Let's check this light to make sure we don't have light or leaks. Oh look, cool, cinema lighting. Since I just took those fuel lines off, I'm making sure I don't have any fuel leaks. That does vibrate quite a bit, but the idle will smooth out in a second. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I don't want to rev it up too much because we just started it. Man, this light is awesome. Woo! And there we have it. That was about the easiest time I've ever started a car. Now, wait, let's do this. Let's play a game. Let's see how many cars I can get started. Let's see if this thing starts right off the bat. All right, this one is a switch. Oh, I shouldn't tell how people to do this. Out of gear. Oh, baby. It starts right up. This is not planned, so hopefully all these cars start. Let's try the Corvette. This is quite the joke because getting a bunch of my cars to all start is normally a disaster. Come on, Corvette. No key fob detected. Oh yeah, my key fob's been a little goofy lately. So in the Corvette, if your battery on your key fob is dead, there's a little place you stick it right there. Oh, there she goes. The Corvette runs also. Wow. Okay. Let's turn this thing back off. You don't know the joy that brings me to have so many cars run at once. All right, let's turn this off. That was easy. And now, let's check to make sure it's making oil pressure and everything still. Still good oil the alternator is running most likely. If that temperature gauge is accurate, the temperature's good. The stupid shift light stopped blinding my eyes. Oh wait, there's a water temp gauge there. That must be the correct gauge. I guess I better ignore that one and pay attention to this one. This one's doing okay. Oh man, I want to go rip around in this thing right now. That's probably not a good thing to go do. Let's see if this is warmed up. Oftentimes cars like this on a standalone will run a lot better after warming up for a few minutes, because it's not often that the tuners can tune for every temperature range, and they often don't tune for cold start very well. So these cars will often like start kind of badly in really cold weather. So it should like run way better when it's all warmed up and everything, which it's getting warmed up now. So let's see if it revs and stuff and has a misfire or anything that we have to take care of, or if the thing just runs right out of the bat. Because if it just runs right out of the bat, that's kind of crazy. I have bought very few 240s that have. Like this one. That 240 is absolutely fantastic, and I love this car. It's one of the better drift cars I've had in a while. But we literally had, well, we didn't literally, we actually did have, well, maybe that is literally. We did have to pull the drivetrain immediately after getting it. It didn't even make its first drift event before it had a rocker come off, rocker arm come off, clutch and flywheel and all that stuff had to be replaced. Engine leaks like rear main seal and everything had to be done. Valley cover gasket and like just all kinds of stuff, oil pressure sensor. All that stuff was leaking in a mess. So the entire drivetrain had to come out. Mark Williams saved me on that and did all the work, and it went back together. And now the car is fantastic. But it's just one of those things where whenever you get a car, typically, you know, they take a lot of work. But this one was very meticulously put together, it looks like. Sounds pretty darn good. Still good. It's actually a bit hot. I don't want to see it that hot. I'm probably going to turn it on, and we probably have it was stored, just a second. So this car was stored with no coolant in it, and I just tossed a bunch of coolant in it. So it probably either has an air bubble or just started cycling it. I can't open the system right now to see what's going on, but it shouldn't run that hot. Let's see what it, oh, you know what it is? Actually, something else is going on because the radiator's not even hot to the touch. But I don't think the fans were blowing. Let me turn it on real quickly and see about the fans. I think we might actually have to turn the fans on a switch, which would be unfortunate. Let's see though. This is the stuff you learn about other people's cars. Yeah, those fans are not on. Woo. Good thing we noticed that. I am going to probably put, I'm probably going to put the fans on the ignition switch if I keep that. Okay, now the fans are definitely on. Good thing we caught that and didn't blow up the motor. But it won't get hurt for just a couple minutes running like that, and it didn't get too hot. So let's see if this gauge is accurate and starts sucking it down. That gauge never went hot. But also, oddly enough, the radiator wasn't hot. Yeah, radiator still isn't hot. It's making good pressure. I'll have to investigate that. But there we go. We had a successful purchase for a car. We had a successful car purchase with this thing. It is always very, very scary buying a car that we don't, like, I didn't see this thing run before I bought it. I actually sent a friend off out of town to go get it for me. So, whew, it's not a blown up SR. But, I don't know. Couldn't have lucked out better. Car ended up being fantastic, sight unseen. Seems to run amazingly well. If it turns on like that, and I've driven this car before, pretty sure it's gonna run really well. And that's that. Thank you very much for watching. You saw me get lucky tonight. I guess that's what I meant to say. But you saw us get lucky and everything. Could have gone way worse. Uh-oh. I don't think there's enough water in the system and it's sucking through and has a big air bubble. Well, that's the next thing I gotta fix. Is figuring out where the air bubble is, how to bleed that thing, because I haven't done that yet. It's past midnight and I need to go home and go to sleep to get ready for this event this weekend because we've been doing so much loading and everything, but I can't decide if I want to get rid of the nitrous bottle or keep it. I'm probably not going to run nitrous. I mean, it might. It'd be really interesting to feel the car with nitrous and stuff, but it's very ricey to have a chrome nitrous bottle in there. My main concern is if I can keep it clean, but I really don't think I can even keep any of the car clean. It is so clean, like on the interior being a white car and stuff. That's gonna be tough for me because I drive my car in the mud and the rain and everything, and this thing is like a real race car where it doesn't have windows, so that could get really difficult to keep clean. The S14 outside right now, which I'm probably gonna take to the demo at COTA Circuit of America this weekend, is just like covered in mud. The engine bay, the interior, everything, because we were driving it in the rain for 2 days. Probably, got a couple hundred laps at the JZX event because it was raining and it's a hot lap scenario. You just go around and around and around and around. And at night, most people didn't want to drive because they didn't have good enough headlights and stuff. So people like myself didn't have to come off track at all. Okay, time to go to bed. Oh, look at this. My friends in Poland got me, look, Dori Minotti, I always say it a little funny. Produce of Poland, all that stuff, 60% Japan, 40% Poland. They gave me a bottle of vodka. It's cool. All right, I will have some, but not when I'm driving because I'm driving home right now. Bye, everybody.